Before I start this video, guys, I just want to ask you one question. Will John Swift stay at the club, or will Reading be able to get a transfer fee for him? And also, do you want Reading to get a transfer fee for him, or do you think we should keep him until the end of the season? Hi guys, and welcome back to another video here on Reading FC Away Days. I'm James, and today we're going to go ahead and sit down and talk to you guys about the latest news that Reading FC have to offer. Now, unfortunately, Reading's game has been postponed this Saturday, so unfortunately there's going to be no content in terms of Reading's match coming up this Saturday, the 150th anniversary game against Luton. Now, unfortunately, I did have some things planned for that game, but that won't go ahead now, as unfortunately the game will not go ahead due to postponement. Maybe when the game does go ahead, maybe when the celebrations continue, maybe then I'll look to do what I wanted to do. But we're going to go ahead and go through, just recapping some of the news really that Reading have had to come out for the last couple of days, just as kind of just a tie over just until next week, when obviously we play Peterborough. So first news story obviously is going to be heavily focused around the COVID issue at the club right now, and that's kind of what I want to focus on just to start off this video. Obviously Reading's game this Saturday has been postponed due to COVID issues. It was rumoured that around 5 first team players had caught the virus, and obviously under 23 players have also got it. Look, they said that it was to do with Reading potentially having a Christmas party. Listen, at the end of the day, the people need to go out and they need to also have their time to celebrate, but at the same time, it's a Christmas party during this pandemic, the right thing to do? I don't know. This ain't the type of video that's going to go into things like that. I'm not here to tell you whether or not you should or shouldn't go out during COVID, but maybe when you're a professional football player, and maybe when you know you've got to play each weekend, maybe having a Christmas party, going out and doing one, maybe isn't the greatest thing to do. I don't know. Personally, I think it was fine. You can have a party. Look, listen, this Omicron variant is rapidly spreading throughout everyone right now, but Reading were unfortunate to get it. It's something that's happened throughout all the clubs in England right now. Look at the Premier League. Half the teams are infected with COVID right now. Look at the Championship. A lot of teams are going out as well with it. It's just unfortunate that it's happened to Reading. It's happened, unfortunately, at the worst time for Reading Football Club, because this is probably going to be Reading's biggest attendance of the season. It's probably going to be Reading's biggest game of the season, just in terms of revenue, in terms of just attendances. So, you know, it's a shame obviously what's happened here. It fit with the correct timing as well. Think of all the time and effort that everybody's put in to make sure that this day will work perfectly. Look at the stuff that Club 1871 have done. Obviously, they've gone out and bought banners. Obviously, everybody involved, there was meant to be activities. There was supposed to be a lot of things going on throughout the day. But look, it's just unfortunate, really. It's one of them things. There's not much really that we can help. Reading's game's been postponed. It's also the under 23s has been postponed. They were supposed to play Birmingham recently, and that game's now been postponed due to COVID issues too. So it's just one of them ones, unfortunately. Every club's getting hit with it right now, and unfortunately Reading have been hit with it. Moving on to a little bit more positive news though. Well, it depends really how you take it, positive or negative. We're going to see that John Swift has officially committed his future to Reading for at least the next couple of months. Swifty said that he wants to stay at the club. He said he doesn't want to go during the winter transfer window, which, you know, is a good thing in terms of Reading on the pitch, but off the pitch potentially could cause a couple of issues. Listen, we know John Swift's contract's up at the end of the season, and in my opinion, John Swift would be a fool if he weren't to go out of Reading Football Club. He could go to a Premier League club right now if he wished, and in my opinion, that's probably what's going to happen. I think Swift, listen, it's fantastic news that he's staying, but at the same time, we could easily get a fee for him, and it could easily help us out in the short term. But John Swift, not getting a fee for him, I don't know. Personally, I think we should try and get a fee. But at the same time, I also want him to stay on the pitch. I want him to produce. Listen, he's been the best player this season. When he's not out there attacking, we look lost. Look at West Brom. Didn't even have a shot on target. And what was the key factor there? John Swift weren't in the squad. He's injured. So, you know, he's currently out of a hamstring injury. It says in the article that I read that he's looking to be back for the Peterborough game on Boxing Day. So fingers crossed he'll be back for that, because, listen, we're going to need him badly. Reading's best player at the end of the day, and I don't want to lose him on a free. Let's look at recently Reading and how they've lost players on free transfers. We lost Danny Loader to Porto. He probably could have been someone that we got a fee for. we lost him for free. We lost Omar Richards to Bayern Munich. Again, that's somebody that we would have got a fee for. He also left for free. John Swift is now amidst Premier League interest. It's someone that we could get a fee for. Listen, in my opinion, that's 25, 30 million pounds that the club could have easily got in transfer fees for these players. And unfortunately, the club has run down their contracts. And, you know, we've given contract extensions to players like Liam Moore. Obviously, this is under a different regime. This is under a different director of football. But we could have easily given contracts to these guys. Maybe they don't want to sign them. I don't blame them. But it's players that we could have easily tied down. And unfortunately, we haven't. And now we're paying the price for it, because look at the transfer fees that these guys could have easily racked up for us. Danny Loader, maybe I'm being generous. We could have got 5 million for him. Look, maybe my memory's a little bit tainted. He didn't score too many goals for Reading. If I'm honest, I was quite shocked that he went to Porto. I think he scored 2 goals for Reading in the end, and you know, wasn't the greatest player at Reading, but he was young and he had time to develop. And look what he's doing at Porto. Now he's breaking into their first team a little bit, making some substitute appearances. Scored his first goal for the club the other week. Omar Richards, someone we could have easily bagged 15, 20 million for. He's young, he's an English player. Could have easily bagged 15, 20 million for him. If you're young and English, your price doubles no matter what. And Omar Richards, maybe you could have seen him being an 8 to 10 million pound player. Because he's English, you could have easily got 16 to 20 million for that boy. And unfortunately, we let him go on a free. John Swift, listen, in my opinion, he's a 7 to 8 to 9 million pound player that we could easily get money for him. But unfortunately, with his contract being running down, his contract's out in is out in July, August time. I can see him leaving on a free to a Premier League team. Someone like a Leeds, someone like an Aston Villa, someone like an Everton. Teams that had interest in John Swift. I could easily see them renewing that interest when he's a free transfer. So unfortunately with that one, Swift's probably going to leave on a free. Tell me what you guys think in the comments though in regards to John Swift and what you guys would like to see Reading do. Would you like to see him try and pursue a fee for him? Would you like to see him stay at the club? Obviously I want him to stay, but I don't think that's going to happen. And whether it's he's gone in the winter or whether it's gone in the summer, Swift's going to go at some point. It's just when is it going to happen? I haven't really got too much other news really to talk about in terms of Reading. Obviously we're talking about extending the contracts of Scott Dan and Andy Carroll. Scott Dan's someone who's got another year, whose contract runs out at the end of the season. So maybe giving him another year. I don't know if that's the right thing to do. Obviously I think Michael Morrison's time is done at the club. I think he's had too many injuries now. Hasn't played really this season. If we're giving Scott Dan, if we're talking about giving Scott Dan another extension, he's probably going to be the experienced defender we keep around, with Holmes and McIntyre being our 2 other defenders. As well as that, we were talking about Andy Carroll having his contract extended. Listen, I'm all for that. I think Carroll he's an asset to Reading at this point. He's probably going to be the main strike partner alongside Joao, alongside Mate. I think Puskas' time's over. It's just done for George Puskas. A lot of people want Brian McDermott to come back in a director of football role. He had a nice little video that he put out with Reading today or yesterday. Obviously doing the lights. Listen, I'm all for McDermott coming back in a DOF role. I'm all for McDermott coming back in general. Give him the manager's role till the end of the season. Nah, don't do that. I can't. I don't know. Paunovic, I spoke about it before. Listen, I don't know where he goes from here, but we'll see what he's like. But listen, Brian McDermott, give him back a role at the club. You can see how much he loves the club. Reading, do it. Give him another role. But that's going to be it for today's video, guys. Tell me in the comment section below. It's going to be the big debate for the video. If you think John Swift should stay or leave, and if you think Reading should try and garner a transfer fee for him. But that's going to be it for today's video, guys. Hopefully you've all enjoyed it. It's just been a little roundup of Reading's news just while we try and have a bit of turnover before that Peterborough game. That's going to be it for this one, though, guys. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.